Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just on to XRP. Once again, thank you for your support, okay? Big of the CoinsKid crew. So in a minute, we may have a clue with what's going on with Bitcoin and its current September return that we may be on the cusp of a major vertical in Bitcoin, which obviously is a good news for XRP because XRP will follow suit. And it's at that stage right now where, I think that we do go with Bitcoin, because I think we've been corrective ever since the July high, and we've had that flush out, and it was a high low, wasn't it, to the January 2023 low. So simply January 23 we came up in 5 waves into July. Everyone was stupidly bullish, but I said to you I expect a correction because the first impulsive move has got to the 1618. We went through this correction. It was horrible, it's nasty, it's zigzaggy, it's landed down, and basically we bottomed as a potential scenario a year after the peak in July. So from this point right now, we are beginning a new wave up here for XRP. So I'm looking at something like this, that comes up. But we may have clues for XRP, really simply, that in September last year, okay, we had a nice little return in September. And the previous time that we seen a positive return in September for Bitcoin was in the previous bull run. So, you got your September return in 2016. It's the year that preceded the major move, the blow off top, okay? So it may be a clue that, we're just simply looking at data and returns in Bitcoin's price history that gives us clues to, the future of Bitcoin. So if potentially we're looking at a beautiful return towards the end of the year here, then in theory, if Bitcoin's going to do what it's done before, where it has a positive September, positive towards the end of the year, positive towards the end of the year, it's only whenever we've seen Bitcoin have positive, is because September's told us it's a setup. So we need to pay attention. I think we've got around 7 days for the close of Bitcoin. If we see a positive return, then it could be a clue. Okay, well, the remainder of the year is going to be positive. And, you would think that if it is positive, then obviously XRP is positive as well. And it could be a little bit of confluence to the fact that we're looking at that, exponential breakout and that move up for XRP, which I've been looking at for a very long time. So we'll keep an eye on the September close. I'll keep your data as best I can. But like I said to you, I rely on data, not emotion. And the data is the key in this, market, basically. And this is what I relay to you. This is why, last year, for those people that are really bearish on Bitcoin, I said to you, the last September we had that was positive, we had a beautiful end of year, and we did exactly that for Bitcoin. This is why I was super bullish on Bitcoin this time last year, and obviously many altcoins as well. But I think with XRP, it's actually just been caught in a massive monster correction. I did anticipate that correction would be over, but obviously one thing that's really difficult in this market is timing the market. This is why they do say timing the market beats timing the market, and especially with XRP, because I think there's a clue with XRP that what we've gone through since the 2018 top right there in January is basically just one big massive sideways consolidation correction, and I'm starting to see a lot of analysts catch up to that right now. So I think that we are potentially on the cusp of a major move here, and we may have clues. Obviously, I'm looking for validation. We may have clues that Bitcoin is about to see the year out absolutely breaking bullish because of the data. September, boom, September, boom, September, boom. So will this be the first time ever, that we see a positive? And obviously, we've still got a week left. Let's not be disillusioned. It's all about what close we get in September, but it's doing incredibly well so far. If we see a positive September, then surely we should see, what we've seen before. But again, history doesn't always repeat, and you can't look at history to guarantee the future. But, we've just respecting the data, and this is something I relay to you. So Bitcoin has actually done something really bullish on the daily time frame. I think you need to check out the Bitcoin video if you're not watching it, because it has done something that's incredibly bullish on the daily. I'm looking for it to hold that bullish statement as well, and it could be a warning shot to the perma bears that we are about to see something like that for Bitcoin, and that we're at the point right now where we should see XRP go with it because it's the end stage for Bitcoin. So let me dive into the XRP chart right now to show you exactly what I'm looking at. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that Bitcoin monthly close coming in hot. Okay, I'll keep you updated as best as I can, and we'll keep an eye on it because I think it's a clue. But really simply looking at the XRP chart right now, you can clearly see it's coiling up, isn't it? Over many years. That's a peak in 2018. I do apologize, January. I remember that time really well. Dropped into that horrible bear market. Okay, then we've come up like this and made a lower high, and then we dropped into this horrible heinous correction that shook a lot of people out, but not myself. I was buying all this drawdown and this blood fear and depression because, like I said to you, I think this is a corrective phase of a bull market because we're actually in a bigger cycle here for crypto and especially Bitcoin, because there's a beautiful count on Bitcoin. There's a beautiful ending final fifth wave, which could be the confluence of this is what we're going to get for XRP. So I've been looking at this potential scenario with Bitcoin and XRP that it's just a bigger cycle. Okay, from this peak here, here, we'll peak sometime here, okay? But what we've got for XRP is simply from left to right, we're getting lower highs and high lows on these key pivot points. Okay, these are the 3 key pivot points in the charts that I see at the moment. If we break down below this low, it's going to get worrisome, and then most importantly, we break down below that low. Okay, we've got an even bigger cycle here for XRP in our vision, potentially some kind of A, some kind of B, some kind of C wave that's coming down to this low, even greater than I actually anticipate. But with the setup that I'm looking at on the DXY, XRP, S&P 500, and most importantly Bitcoin, if we are nearing the end of the cycle, the final 5th wave, then there's a bit of confidence that, you know, from left to right we've got really compressed, making a series of lower highs here and higher lows, and what we're looking at is this compression breakout towards the apex. Okay, and this is it. You know, we're sort of caught up with Bitcoin in its end phase, and this is something I've been looking at for so long. I've been saying till I'm blue in the face that I think that, you know, we'll just go with Bitcoin at the end of its cycle. So this is why I think there's a lot of potential scenario is stacking up right now that Bitcoin's about to put in that break to the upside. Please check out the Bitcoin video. If I'm wrong, I do apologize, but the data's stacking up for Bitcoin right now. We've got beautiful golden crosses above a 200 EMA on the daily time frame. That is not you know, something you want to ignore, and it could be a clue that with the positive data as well, if we see that monthly close positively for Bitcoin, then it could be a precursor, a warning shot to the perma bears for XRP, that we're going down into the depths, that we're not about to do that. And from left to right, what we've done, we've got really compressed, and you can clearly see between each key pivot point in the high and the low, you can see the wave. Look, there's a big wave there, then a big wave there, and there's a little wave here and a little wave there. So we're getting compressed like a spring, like this, getting really compressed, and then boom, it reacts. You know, whether or not it goes up or down, I can't guarantee that, but all I'm trying to do is find clues in the chart. So there's a potential right now. I've had this WXY correction with bottom just there as anticipated. We've had an impulsive move. Right now we're going sideways again, looking for some kind of spring compression for the continuation. So we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin going forward. So why do I have my target at around about $4 for the next big move up for XRP? Let me show you, okay? But clearly this is your major level of support. We break down below that, then my theory is wrong. We take out his resistance points. Oh, holy moly, hang on to the edge of your seats, because XRP could be about to go vertical. Let me show you why I have my target around about $4 for XRP, okay? So keep an eye on that monthly close for Bitcoin then. You know, if it's positive, then we've got a clue. And if we do start to see Bitcoin reacting positively off them golden crosses as well on the daily, then again, we've got another clue. But obviously, if you're not watching the XRP video, the Bitcoin video, sorry, I will relay that data to you as and when, the validation and invalidation. So stay tuned. But at the minute, what I'm looking at is a potential of this complex correction that's complete a year after this peak, basically. What we've got from this January bottom here, the 1 into the 2 into the 3 into the 4 into the 5, beautiful little move right there. And then what we've got is some kind of complex correction here. We've came down in the A, come up in the B, and then we've had the C wave coming down, or, you know, WXY, whatever you want to call it. It's a complex correction, isn't it? It come up like this, zigzaggy correction for XRP. So, you know, potentially we're bottom just there on the 786 fib like an absolute boss. So there's your peak in July of last year. And what you've done, you've simply, from the peak of July, you've come back and you retrace the entire move, and you've found support on the 786. Look at that, beautiful. And from there, we've actually seen a positive reaction, okay, which is really nice, because if this is indeed the start of a first wave, we're already getting the, you know, the clues basically. So if XRP, it's a big if as well, obviously, you know, if we found the first wave within the large third wave which is coming, the big breakout, we've already got clues here that XRP is doing it, because from the bottom in July to this peak, we peaked at roughly 72%. So from this bottom here in January for the first wave, we actually went up around about 40%, wasn't it? So from there to there, went up roughly 44%. So we're already, you know, we're getting clues. Okay, well, if this is the bottom right now, this is quite a ferocious move from XRP. So in theory, this drawdown, just like this drawdown that was relaying to you way back in, you know, 2023, this overlapping nature, and we've got this overlapping nature right now, this drawdown should in theory be some kind of opportunity like that was, because the next wave should be a third explosive wave like that was. And then we have a fourth and a final fifth wave, and then we have some kind of, you know, fourth and then final fifth wave up there. So this will be an entirety third wave that consists of 5 waves, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This should 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and get us up there. So this third wave in theory should be the power which takes out, you know, the all-time high and this high here. So if we see that, this is where we could get that exponential growth from. So let's remember, if we go back to this point here, okay, XRP's in the floor, you know, down here it's incredibly boring crap, rubbish, you know, oh no, it's going to zero. But we put in this huge move. I mean, if you look at the move, it's massive. From here to this high was roughly 589%. And then from this low, when it came all the way back down, it was another 1000%. but it never made the all-time high, did it? Because I think that what this was, really simply looking at it right now in hindsight, is basically an A into a B into a truncation C, and this has been a 1 into a 2 into a 3, and right now we've got market symmetry, if I'm correct, and Bitcoin is looking for that final fifth wave. We've got market symmetry. We've caught up with Bitcoin. We're looking at going with Bitcoin in the alt season, you know, which is typically what we see. We're looking at that right on cue with Bitcoin in this last wave here for XRP. So, you know, people don't realize that these big third waves for XRP, they don't last very long. They come up, go sideways, people get shaken. Oh no, you know, it's going to zero. But, you know, the big powerful moves, they come over a matter of weeks. Look at that. Few days, you know, so they come and all of a sudden they're done and cooked, and then you've got your big correction. What people do, they don't buy all this fear and blood and depression. They buy here and they buy these big green candles, and then they get shafted and buy, you know, get the big red dildos. You don't buy these big green candles because you're going to get this. Okay, so this is where, and I've been relaying to you, that support, these drawdowns and this high-low structure is where you want to be focusing your buys. Okay, not because it's taken off or breaking out and taken off into space. You've got to buy the blood and fear in this space, basically, to make money. Okay, don't be dumb money. Basically, smart money accumulates at the lows and sells to the dumb money at the highs. Accumulates at the lows and sells to the dumb money at the highs, basically. And this is what we're looking at. So this is why I've been trying to find the targets all the way down. We've been nailing them like an absolute boss. We've been doing incredibly well, accumulating XRP. Our bags are packed, basically. So what I'm looking at right now, if this is a wave 1, right now we're going for a consolidation wave 2. This is why it's going sideways, because it's already put in a big move. And like I said to you, I'm looking at altcoins. I've been relaying that to you over the past few weeks. I'm looking at many altcoin opportunities, and so far they've been doing incredibly well because XRP's already had its ferocious move. It's already had a huge 70% move here. Okay, so it had a 40% move there and then went on to do that. It's had a 70% move there. So what's it going to do in the next big move to the upside? So what I'm looking at, potential scenario, that if this is the bottom right now, and we've got this ABC, and right now 1 into a 2, and this is looking for an exponential growth. This third wave is the wave that breaks out the highs, because it's what I always see. You know, I always see it in every single chart. For example, this time last year I was relaying to you that I think Bitcoin's coming up in a third wave and it's looking to make the all-time high in that third wave. It did exactly that. So that was a good time. So in theory, where we are right now is where Bitcoin was last year, wave 2 bottom, looking for the exponential growth to make the all-time highs. So, you know, in theory, that's exactly where we are in XRP and a lot of these altcoins. So we're showing it most look, but obviously it can be invalidated, it can be completely wrong, and I'll show you every daily invalidation. So where are my targets and why have I got them? So in theory, if this is the bottom of the wave 2, we've had a 1 into a 2 right now. We are looking simply Fibonacci. So Fibonacci, like I said to you, we're looking at 2.272 and we're looking at 2.618. This is why I think we could see the all-time high get as high as $4 and a retest of this high. Now I do expect resistance along the way, but if you take a look at here, this was your third wave. Look where it found resistance. It found resistance on the all-time high, came back and then exploded again. So I think we could be on the cusp of that, and we're looking at 2.618 as a major level of resistance if we get up to that, around about $4.19 at the moment. If we do this, we get this massive vertical here, then you have your 4 and 5 and so on and so forth. That is not my end target, that is just a target of the third wave. We'll have a 4 and then the final 5th wave which comes up, but I can't give you that final 5th wave until we find the bottom of the, you know, the potential wave 4. So obviously, you know, there's no guarantees that it's going to happen, but I think this is where we are right now with the market symmetry with Bitcoin. If we get that positive close in September, which is only a few, you know, a week away, if we see that, then I think, you know, we could just be saying, okay, we're on the cusp of this vertical here, and from left to right we've gone compression lead to expansion, and this is the go moment for XRP. I wish you having the most luck. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, but you know, I think it's the perfect setup right now, and I'm looking for the invalidation. I just don't see it at the moment. There is a target that I've given you in recent times. You know, this compression pattern, if it does come back, gets quite nasty. We've got a pendant here looking for the expansion. I wish you having the most luck. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Back to a new update on XRP. Bye bye.